eBay me, 28. Just a regular dude working a soul-crushing it job. Only life is a comfortable cycle of work, video games, gym, and hanging out with my two best friends, Dave and Chad. It's not a thrilling existence, but it's mine. One Saturday night, Chad drags me to a house party. I'm not in the mood, but the alternative is a lonely evening with a pizza and the crushing weight of my own mortality. ISO I go. DSO I go. The party is what you'd expect. Loud music, cheap beer, and people trying to look more interesting than they actually are. I'm leaning against a wall, trying to merge with the wide we are. Her name is Chloe. She's got vibrant pink hair, a sharp sense of style, and she's in the middle of a heated, passionate argument about the artistic merit of some obscure indie film. I'm immediately intrigued. She's not like the other girls I've dated, who were more into reality TV and brunch. I wait for a lull in the conversation and make my move. My opening line is something incredibly witty and charming, like, "So you really like movies, huh?" And somehow it works. Anya, somehow it works. Well, we start talking and it's electric. She's smart, funny, and has a laugh that makes me forget about the terrible DJ. We talk for hours about everything and nothing. It feels like I've known her forever. As the party winds down, I ask for her number. She gives it to me with a smile that could power a small city. I walk home that night feeling like I'm floating. Our first few dates are amazing. We go to a cool little ramen place she knows. We visit a modern art museum and make fun of the pretentious exhibits. We take a long walk in the park and talk about our hopes and dreams. It's all very rom-com. But then the first little red flag appears. We're at a bar, and some obnoxious guy is hitting on the bartender. He's being loud and pushy. Chloe rolls her eyes and muters. Men are trash. Gee, I chuckle. I mean, that particular guy definitely is. I don't think much of it. It's a common phrase, just a bit of hyperbole. A week later, we're watching a movie at my place. The male lead does something stupid, and she says it again. Typical man. All men are trash. All men are trash. This time, it's a little less of a joke. There's a certain edge to her voice. I try to gently push back. Come on, not all men. And she just scoffs. Oh, please. You're just saying that because you are one. I let it slide. I'm really into this girl, and I don't want to start a fight over a throwaway comment. But the comments keep coming. Anytime a man does something even remotely negative, whether in real life or on TV, it's proof of her theory. A guy cuts us off in traffic. Men are so aggressive. A male politician is involved in a scandal. See? They're all corrupt. A character in a video game I'm playing is a bit of a jerk. Even in your stupid games, men are the worst. I tell my friends about her. Dave, the more pragmatic of the two, is immediately concerned. Dude, she sounds like a walking Twitter feed. That's a huge red flag. Chad, ever the optimist, is more forgiving. Maybe she's just been hurt in the past. Give her a chance. You decide to take Chad's advice. Everyone has their baggage, right? The honeymoon phase ends and the indoctrination phase begins. Our conversations start to shift. Every topic, no matter how mundane, somehow becomes a lecture on the patriarchy and toxic masculinity. Yui mentioned that I had a good workout at the gym. She launches into a monologue about how gyms are just temples of fragile male egos. I talk about a cool new video game that's coming out. She tells me that video games are just power fantasies for men who feel inadequate in the real world. Why try to cook her a nice steak dinner? Why she informs me that meat eating is linked to aggressive male behavior. It's exhausting. I feel like I'm constantly walking on eggshells, afraid that anything I say or do will be interpreted as a symptom of my toxic masculinity. Date nights are no longer about us. They're about her educating me. We watch documentaries that are just 2 hours of interviews with angry-looking academics, talking about how terrible men are. We listen to podcasts where the hosts cackle about the latest stupid thing a man did. I try to be open-minded. I really do. I listen to her points, and some of them are even valid. But it's the sweeping generalizations that get to me. The absolute certainty with which she condemns half of the human race. One night, I try to have a real conversation about it. Chloe, I get that you've had some bad experiences, but you can't really believe that all men are inherently bad, can you? She looks at me with a mixture of pity and condescension. You just don't get it because you're a man. You're part of the problem. You benefit from the system, so you can't see its flaws. Yeah, and that's it. Conversation over. Any attempt at nuance is shut down with the same tired talking points. The final straw with my friends comes when I invite them over for a barbecue. I'm hoping that if they see Chloe in a more relaxed setting, they'll understand what I see in her. For the first hour, things are fine. She's charming and funny. But then Dave makes an offhand joke about a female celebrity. It's not even a mean joke, just a silly observation. Chloe's entire demeanor changes. Wow, she says, her voice dripping with sarcasm. I can't believe you're still making sexist jokes in this day and age. Dave is taken aback. It was just a joke. I didn't mean anything by it. If that's what they all say, Chloe retorts. But jokes like that contribute to a culture of misogyny. The rest of the afternoon is incredibly awkward. The afternoon is... Chloe spends the entire time calling out my friends for their problematic behavior. Chad mentions that he likes a certain action movie, and Chloe tells him that he's glorifying violence and the male gaze. Dave talks about his plans to ask for a raise, and Chloe accuses him of perpetuating the gender pay gap. My friends make their excuses and leave early. As soon as they're gone, I turn to Chloe. What was that all about? You were so rude to them. He was just speaking my truth, she says defiantly. I'm not going to sit by and let men be sexist and problematic. They're my friends, Chloe. They're good guys. Are they? She says, raising an eyebrow. Or are they just better at hiding their misogyny than most? You don't have an answer for that. I stay, Dave calls me. Dude, I'm sorry, but your girlfriend is insane. You need to get out of that relationship. She's got you brainwashed. I hang up on him. I'm angry and defensive, but deep down a part of me knows he's right. You decide that the only way to save this relationship is to get my family's approval. Amy parents are the most open-minded, loving people I know. If they can see the good in Chloe, then maybe I'm not crazy. I invite her over for Sunday dinner. I'm so nervous my stomach is in knots. I give her a pep talk in the car. Just be yourself, but maybe. Tone down the political stuff a little. She gives me a withering look. You want me to hide my beliefs to appease your parents? Of course not. Just try to find some common ground. For the first half of the dinner, it's a miracle. Chloe is on her best behavior. She's charming, she's funny. She even compliments my mom's cooking. Amy parents are clearly impressed. I start to relax. And then my dad makes a fatal mistake. He asks Chloe about her work. She's a gender studies graduate student, a fact I had conveniently omitted. Our eyes light up. This is her chance. Launches into a lecture about the systemic oppression of women throughout history. Amy dad, a history teacher, tries to engage with her, offering a few counterpoints. Big mistake. Chloe accuses him of mansplaining and being a historical revisionist. The conversation quickly devolves into a heated argument. My mom tries to play peacemaker. Now, let's not get so worked up. We're all friends here. Chloe turns to my mom, her eyes blazing. With all due respect, your desire to keep the peace is a classic example of internalized misogyny. You're so used to placating men that you're willing to ignore blatant sexism. My mom is stunned into silence. My dad looks like he's about to have an aneurysm. I quickly make an excuse and get Chloe out of there. The car ride home is silent and tense. When we get back to my apartment, I finally snap. What the hell was that, Chloe? You were completely out of line. You insulted my parents in their own home. I was just speaking the truth, she says, as if that excuses everything. Your dad was being incredibly defensive, and your mom was enabling him. Your dad was being incredibly defensive, and My dad was trying to have a conversation with you. My mom was trying to be nice. They're part of the problem, she yells. Don't you see? It's men like your father who have been holding women down for centuries. She takes a deep breath and delivers the final blow. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. All men are trash, even your dad. Something inside me breaks. All the frustration, all the resentment, all the times I've bitten my tongue. It all comes to a head, but I don't yell. I don't scream. I just go cold. You're right, I say, my voice devoid of emotion. You're absolutely right. From that moment on, I change my strategy. No more arguing. No more trying to reason with her. I'm going to embrace the role she's assigned me. The next morning, she's still fuming. She goes on a rant about how men never listen. You're so right, I say, nodding seriously. Our tiny male brains can only process one thing at a time, usually sports or beer. She blinks, confused. What? It's true, I continue. We're emotionally stunted, remember. All we can feel is anger and the urge to grill. She doesn't know how to respond. Later that day, we're on the subway. She starts complaining about a guy who's manspreading. I immediately pull my knees together, squeezing them so tight my legs start to cramp. I cross my hands in my lap and stare demurely at the floor. She looks at me, then at the guy, then back at me. What are you doing? She hisses. I'm trying to be less oppressive, I whisper. Is this better? Am I taking up an appropriate amount of space for a man? She's starting to get annoyed. This isn't the reaction she's used to. A malicious compliance campaign escalates. She complains that I don't do enough chores. I spend the entire next Saturday deep cleaning the apartment, scrubbing the floors on my hands and knees. When she asks what I'm doing, I tell her I'm trying to atone for the centuries of domestic labor that men have forced upon women. She says that men are too loud and opinionated. I end every sentence with, but that's just my male opinion, so it's probably wrong. She's getting more and more frustrated. She can't tell if I'm mocking her or if I've actually had some kind of mental breakdown. The grand finale comes a few weeks later. She invites me out for drinks with her friends. I know what's coming. It's going to be another session of Let's All Bash Men. But this time I'm ready. We're sitting at a table, and Chloe's friends are in rare form. One of them is complaining about her boss. He's such a typical man. He took credit for my idea, and then acted like he was doing me a favor. Another chimes in. I went on a date with this guy, and he had the audacity to suggest we split the bill. The misogyny. They all turn to me, their eyes gleaming. They see me as the tamed one, the one who gets it. What do you think, Anon? Chloe asks, a smug look on her face. You agree that men are just the worst, right? I take a long, slow sip of my beer. I set the glass down with a deliberate click. You know what? I say, my voice filled with a newfound clarity. You're all 100% correct. They lean in, eager to hear me validate their beliefs. Men are, without a doubt, the single worst thing to ever happen to this planet. I begin, my voice rising with theatrical fervor. We are brutish, simple-minded creatures driven by nothing more than our base instincts. Chloe is smiling, nodding along. Her friends look thrilled. We are responsible for every war, every famine, every injustice in the history of the world. We are a plague upon the earth, a walking, talking embodiment of everything that is wrong with humanity. I am just getting warmed up. I start incorporating their own talking points, twisting them into absurd extremes. The so-called male gaze isn't just about objectification, I declare. It's about the psychic violence we inflict upon women with every glance. Our very existence is an act of aggression. The smiles on their faces are starting to waver. And you're right to complain about paying for dates. Why should we be allowed to handle money at all? We're too stupid and irresponsible. All our assets should be immediately transferred to the nearest woman. Chloe's smile has vanished completely. Okay, Anon, I think they get the point. No, I'm not finished, I say, holding up a hand. I'm just so grateful to you all for opening my eyes. I see the truth now. Men are not just trash. We are a festering, oozing landfill of toxic waste. I stand up, my chair scraping against the floor. And that is why I have to do this. Turned to Chloe, my eyes filled with fake tears. Me darling, I cannot in good conscience continue to subject you to my disgusting, oppressive male presence. You are a goddess, and I am but a lowly, worthless worm. I am not worthy to breathe the same air as you. You dramatically get down on one knee. I am breaking up with you, not for my sake, but for yours. I am setting you free from the shackles of my masculinity. The entire bar is staring at us now. Chloe's face is a mask of horror and embarrassment. Her friends look like they've seen a ghost. You get up, wipe away a fake tear, and throw a $20 bill on the table. "E for your trouble," I say to the stunned group. And with that, I turn and walk out of the bar, leaving a trail of shattered feminist dogma in my wake. The walk home is the most liberating experience of my life. My phone immediately starts blowing up. Dozens of texts from Chloe. First angry, then confused, then pleading. "Lying, how could you do that to me? Jai, how could you do that to me, Ire? You insane. That was the most embarrassing moment of my life. Please, we need to talk." Oi. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean it. Why turn my phone off? For the first time in months. There is silence. A few days later, there's a knock on my door. It's Chloe. Her eyes are red and puffy. The vibrant pink in her hair looks faded. "Can I come in?" she asks, her voice barely a whisper. I hesitate, then step aside. As she sits on my couch, the same couch where we watched all those educational documentaries. "I don't understand," she says, tears welling up in her eyes. I thought you agreed with me." "I did," I say calmly. "I agreed with everything you said. I just took it to its logical conclusion. But you were mocking me," she sobs. "You made a joke out of my beliefs." "Your beliefs?" I say, bitter laugh escaping my lips. "Chloe, your beliefs are that I, and everyone like me, are fundamentally broken. That we're the villains in the story of the world. How can you build a relationship on that foundation?" Who doesn't have an answer. She just cries. "I'm sorry," she says again. "I didn't mean it like that. I was just angry at the world, at the things I've seen." I know," I say, and for the first time I feel a pang of sympathy for her. But you can't take that anger out on the people who are trying to love you. You can't paint everyone with the same brush. We sit in silence for a long time. Finally, I stand up. "I think you should go." She looks up at me, her face full of hope. Can we try to fix this?" Shake my head. "No. I can't be in a relationship where I'm constantly being told that I'm the enemy. I hope you find peace, Chloe. I really do. But you're not going to find it with me." She cries some more, but eventually she leaves. I watch her go, and I feel a sense of profound sadness. Not for the end of the relationship, but for her. For the fact that she's so consumed by her ideology that she can't see the good in people. Life after Chloe is quiet and peaceful. I reconnect with Dave and Chad. They're just happy to have me back. You go to the gym. We play video games. We watch dumb action movies. It's simple. It's easy. It's nice. A few months later, I meet someone new. Her name is Sarah. She's a veterinarian. She's kind and funny, and she has a laugh that's even better than Chloe's. On our third date, I do something stupid. I can't even remember what it was. I think I spilled a drink on myself. I brace myself for a lecture, but Sarah just laughs. She reaches over and cleans up the mess. "Oh, you," she says, shaking her head with a smile. "Boys will be boys." Well, she says it with so much affection, so much warmth, that it almost brings a tear to my eye. Amy face when my girlfriend doesn't think I'm the root of all evil. Amy face when I can finally just be myself. It's a good feeling.